Ladies and gentlemen, you've been lied to. They told you getting rich is hard, that it takes luck, connections, or a genius IQ. But let me hit you with the truth right now. Getting rich is very easy if you stop doing broke people things. See, most people are working too hard at the wrong things. They're grinding, sweating, showing up every day, but still broke. Why? Because nobody taught them that getting rich is a decision, not just a dream, a mindset, a pattern, a routine. Not some fantasy only rich folks get to live out. Getting rich doesn't mean working harder than everybody. It means thinking better, choosing smarter, and learning how money actually moves. Because here's the kicker: money flows to clarity, to value, to confidence, not to confusion, chaos, and fear. In this speech, I'm going to give you 6 straight up truths. No fluff, no hype. These are the things rich people know and do every single day, and the exact things broke people avoid. And I promise you this, by the time we're done, you're going to stop saying one day and start saying, why not today? Stick around, because once you hear this, you'll never see money the same again. The first thing you've got to do if you ever want to get rich is simple. Shut down that voice in your head that keeps saying, money is hard. Because if that's what you keep repeating, that's what your life will reflect. You can have all the skills, all the talent, all the drive in the world, but if deep down you believe money is hard to get, then your actions will always make that belief true. Let me tell you something real. Your mouth is either opening the door to abundance or locking it shut. Some people speak poverty fluently. They say, I'm always broke. Money doesn't grow on trees. People like us don't get rich. It's just too hard out here. And guess what? Life hears that and gives them exactly what they asked for: more struggle. Money is not scared of you. It's not hiding. It's not locked behind some magic gate. It's moving all around you every single day. The question is, are you thinking like someone it can flow to or someone it's running from? See, here's the truth. Most people were raised on struggle language. They heard their parents talk about bills, debt, lack. They watched adults argue over not having enough. So they grew up thinking lack was normal. And if that's your default setting, you'll keep recreating that story in your own life, no matter how smart or hardworking you are. That's why the first step is to reprogram the words that come out of your mouth. You don't have to lie to yourself. You don't have to say, I'm a millionaire, when your bank is at 0. But you do need to stop cursing your future every time you open your mouth. Start replacing money is hard with money is a skill I can learn. Replace I'm broke with I'm building. Replace I can't afford it with how can I afford it? Because when you shift your language, you shift your mindset. And when you shift your mindset, your life has no choice but to follow. Let me give it to you straight. Money respects people who respect themselves. If you talk like a victim, act like a victim, and think like a victim, the world will treat you like one. But if you talk like a builder, like someone who's growing, learning, stepping into something bigger, the world starts responding to that energy. And here's the crazy part: once you stop saying money is hard, you start seeing how simple it actually is. You realize it's just numbers, just systems, just value being exchanged. Rich people aren't magicians. They're just focused, informed, and consistent. They believe money is easy for them, so it is. Now, I know some people will say, it's not that simple, and maybe for them it isn't, because they're addicted to their excuses. But if you really want to get rich, if you're tired of living in survival mode, then it's time to take control of the words you speak and the beliefs they shape. Don't just say different things live like you believe them. Study money. Learn how it works. Watch how people earn it, save it, multiply it. Ask better questions. Surround yourself with people who speak abundance, not fear, because you can't keep speaking struggle and expect success to show up. You can't keep complaining about money and expect money to come running to you. You have to speak it like it's available, like you're ready, like it belongs to you. You want to get rich. Then talk rich. Think rich, move rich, not to fake it, but to grow into it. Because once your mindset shifts, you stop seeing money as a mountain and start seeing it as a staircase, one step at a time. Doable, possible, simple. So stop saying money is hard. Start saying money is coming. Start saying you're open to receive it. Start saying you're ready to handle it. And then go prove it with your thoughts, your actions, your habits. Because the moment your words and your grind get in alignment, money stops being hard and starts being normal. Let's get something straight right now. Hard work is important, but it's not what makes you rich. That might go against what your parents or teachers told you growing up, but it's the truth. There are people working themselves to the bone, day and night, still struggling to pay the bills. You see them every day. Folks with 2 or 3 jobs, grinding nonstop, exhausted, and still can't catch a break. That's because money problems aren't solved with sweat alone. They're solved with money. You can work yourself to death, but if you don't know how to make money outside of labor, how to keep it, and how to grow it, you'll always stay in the loop of work more, earn less. Now don't get it twisted. Hard work has its place. You should always be willing to show up, give your best, and outwork most. But what I'm talking about here is working smarter, not just harder. If working hard was the key to getting rich, construction workers, janitors, and delivery drivers would be millionaires. And I say that with full respect. Those are some of the hardest working people on the planet, but they're not getting rich off that grind. Because the system doesn't pay based on sweat. It pays based on value, ownership, and leverage. See, rich people don't trade all their time for money. They set up systems. They buy income producing assets. They get paid whether they're working or sleeping. They solve problems once and sell the solution 1,000 times. They know the goal is not just to work. It's to escape the trap of needing to work forever just to stay afloat. You have to understand this. Money isn't loyal to effort, it's loyal to strategy. If you want to escape the cycle of always hustling just to survive, you've got to shift your mindset. You've got to learn how to make money work for you. That means building skills that pay you passively. That means learning how to invest, how to sell, how to create something once and earn from it over and over. Some people are addicted to hard work because it makes them feel useful. But staying busy doesn't mean you're building wealth. You can be running full speed on a treadmill and still be in the exact same place. Activity without strategy is just exhaustion. The rich don't work harder, they work different. They ask questions like, how can I get paid more for my time? How can I automate this? How can I scale this? How can I buy back my time? They think in systems. They think in multiplication. They think in freedom, not survival. And that's what separates them from the people still caught in the rat race. The ones who believe hard work alone will one day magically make them rich. Let me put it to you like this. If you keep solving your money problems with more work, you'll burn out. But if you solve them with financial intelligence, you'll break free. That means learning how to budget, how to invest, how to make your money generate more money. Think about this. If you have a money problem, the real solution isn't to clock more hours, it's to increase your income per hour. That could mean raising your prices. That could mean starting a side hustle. That could mean creating something people need and getting it in front of them. But the key is that you stop thinking your body is the only tool you've got. Your mind is more valuable than your back. And when you shift from being just a worker to being a creator, a thinker, a builder, That's when the money starts showing up differently. It's not about working until you drop. It's about building something that can outwork you. So yes, stay disciplined, stay hungry, stay on the grind. But make sure that grind is building something bigger than your next paycheck. Make sure you're learning, growing, and setting yourself up for money to come in even when you're not physically doing anything. Because at the end of the day, money solves money problems, not hustle alone. And the sooner you start solving with strategy instead of struggle, the faster you'll realize that getting rich really is very easy. People make getting rich too complicated. They think they need 10 income streams, 100 ideas, and to be everywhere at once. That's a lie. The truth is, you don't need to do everything. You just need to solve one problem really well. That's it. One problem, one pain point, one need that a group of people has. And if you can fix it consistently and better than most, the money will chase you down. Rich people aren't out here doing 100 things. They're known for solving one thing really well. That's where the money lies. Think about it. Look at the people you know who are winning. They didn't start rich, they started focused. One person's great at teaching. One person can cook like no one else. One's an expert at fixing cars. Another built a business around writing emails, designing websites, cutting hair, or organizing closets. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing something well enough that people gladly pay for it. But here's what most people do wrong. They bounce from idea to idea. They try one thing, don't get rich in 30 days. Quit it and move on. Then they repeat the cycle. They're busy, but they're not building. They never give themselves a chance to master the problem, the people, and the process. So they stay broke, frustrated, and overwhelmed. You want to get rich? Pick your lane. Pick a problem you enjoy solving or are willing to learn. Then go deep, not wide. Learn everything about it. Know what people complain about. Know where the pain is. Then create a solution that saves time, money, or frustration and deliver it with excellence. People pay for relief. That's the key. If you can solve someone's pain, if you can save someone time, if you can help them reach a goal or avoid a mistake, they'll pay for that over and over. That's the kind of value people exchange money for. And the better you get at solving that one problem, the more they refer you, return to you, and respect your price. Now, some people will say, but I have so many interests. That's cool, but interests don't pay bills. Results do. You can have hobbies, but your income should come from clarity. Confused people don't buy. And scattered creators don't scale. You can add more streams later, but the foundation of wealth is built on solving one thing first, solving it better, faster, or smoother than others. This applies no matter what industry you're in. Selling shoes. What's the real problem? Maybe it's comfort, maybe it's status, maybe it's fit. Solve it better. Are you a coach or service provider? What's the frustration your client wakes up with? Solve it and speak to that. Don't just sell a product, sell the solution to a very specific pain. Once you lock in on the problem, make it your mission to become the goal. To name in that lane, you don't have to be famous. You just have to be consistent. You want people to say, if you've got this problem, you are the person to call. When that happens, the game changes. You're not chasing money. Money starts chasing you. The beauty of this approach is that it builds reputation and results at the same time. People trust you. You start seeing patterns. You get faster, better, more efficient. And once you dominate one space, guess what? You can scale. You can teach others. You can launch products. You can create systems. You can raise your price. Because now you're not guessing. You're known. But none of that happens if you keep spreading yourself too thin. If you want to build wealth, solve one problem well. Then scale it, sell it, or systematize it. Don't let distraction trick you out of your breakthrough. Your riches are hiding behind a problem you're avoiding. So stop chasing every trend. Stop trying to do everything. Start being known for solving one thing that matters to people and doing it with excellence. Because when you do that, you don't just make money, you build legacy. One of the biggest reasons people stay broke is because they think they need to invent something brand new to get rich. They think wealth comes from originality. They want to be the first app, the first product, the first person to ever do something. And while there's nothing wrong with having fresh ideas, here's the truth that wealthy people already know. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You just need to roll it better. Success leaves clues. It always has. There's somebody out there right now already doing what you want to do, and they're making 6, 7, even 8 figures doing it. That's not a problem. That's a blueprint. But instead of following it, most people ignore it. They'd rather spend months building something from scratch when they could have cut their learning curve in half just by studying what already works. Let me break it down like this. McDonald's didn't invent the burger. Netflix didn't invent movies. Amazon didn't invent shopping. Uber didn't invent taxes. What they did was study what people were already doing and made it easier, faster, more convenient, or more consistent. That's it. They took something familiar and made it work better. That's where the money is. You don't need to be a genius. You need to be a great observer. Watch what's working in your field. Study who's winning and why. Take notes. Ask yourself, what do they do well? What could be done better? What are people still complaining about in this space? That's your opportunity. You're not here to copy someone's style. You're here to learn the structure, the process, the model. You're not stealing, you're studying. The best business people in the world don't try to be different just to stand out. They aim to be better where it matters. Now, I already know what some folks are thinking, but I want to be original. Cool. Be original in your delivery. Be original in your voice. Be original in how you connect with your people. But your system, your model, that can be borrowed, improved, and executed with excellence. That's not being a copycat, that's being smart. Think about this. If you were climbing a mountain and someone already reached the top and left you a map, would you ignore it just to find your own way? No, that'd be foolish. You'd take the map, avoid the traps, follow the path, and make it to the top faster. That's what following proven models does for you in life and business. The internet is full of examples. People are out here showing you exactly how they grew, what they charge, how they market, how they scale. All you have to do is pay attention. And if you can't find the model, buy access. Pay for the course. Read the book, go to the seminar, get in the room, because once you understand what's working, you can build with clarity instead of confusion. What kills most people is ego. They want to say they built something all by themselves. But in chasing that pride, they waste time, money, and energy doing things that don't move the needle. Wealthy people value results, not credit. They care more about impact than being the original. And here's the powerful part. Once you copy what works and make it your own, you actually position yourself to innovate later. But you can't innovate until you first dominate. And domination starts with understanding what's already making money. This applies to everything: business, content, services, products, even your career. You don't need to guess. You need to watch, learn, and implement. Success isn't hidden. It's happening in plain sight. You just need to stop overcomplicating it. So find the model, reverse engineer it, improve it, and then execute it like nobody else will. Don't waste energy trying to look original. Use your energy to get results. Because in the end, clients, customers, and money don't care if you were first. They care if you deliver. Remember, the richest people in the world didn't build a brand new road. They just learned how to drive faster on one that was already there. And if you do the same, the road to wealth becomes a lot shorter. Everybody wants the lifestyle, the cars, the house, the vacations, the freedom, but nobody wants to fix their morning. That's where the problem starts. You think getting rich begins with some big opportunity or lucky break. No, getting rich starts with your routine. What you do every single day when no one's watching, that's what builds wealth. The habits you keep are either building your bank account or blocking your breakthrough. You don't need to be a millionaire to start acting like one. You need structure. You need standards. You need to take your time, your focus, and your energy seriously, because money doesn't come to the scattered, the lazy, or the unplanned. It flows to the prepared. Let me be real with you. If you can't manage your day, you won't manage your money. If you wake up late, scroll your phone for an hour, move without a plan, and let life push you around. How are you going to handle success when it shows up? How are you going to manage 6 figures if you can't even manage 6 hours of focus? You need a routine that tells your future, I'm ready for you. That means waking up with purpose, not snoozing, not dragging, not guessing. Purpose. You wake up and you move like somebody who's going somewhere. You feed your mind, whether that's reading, praying, listening to something motivational, or writing your goals. You take control of your day before it takes control of you. Successful people don't let life just happen to them. They design it. They build systems that protect their focus. They protect their mornings like gold because they know that how you start your day is how you show up for your dreams. And it's not just mornings, it's how you end your day too. Rich routines don't stop at noon. Wealth is built in how you plan your nights, how you track your progress, how you set up the next move before the sun rises again. The broke mindset lives in chaos. The rich mindset lives in consistency. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be disciplined. Do the same important things every day, over and over, and results will stack up. You make calls, you build something, you learn, you apply, you repeat. That's not boring, that's bankable. Think of your daily routine like a seed. If you plant something valuable every single day, even something small, over time it grows. One phone call today might become a big contract later. 1 hour of learning might become a skill that makes you thousands next month. One focused task every day might become a business that frees you next year. But none of that happens without a routine. Too many people are trying to get rich while living sloppy. Late nights, lazy mornings, no calendar, no budget, no accountability. That's not a setup for success. That's a recipe for staying stuck. You can't expect the rewards of the wealthy while living with the habits of the lost. So ask yourself, what does your routine say about where you're going? Because if it doesn't look like discipline, focus, and movement, then it's time to rewrite it. Getting rich isn't about working 20 hours a day. It's about being intentional with the hours you do have. You want to level up? Then start honoring your schedule. Start treating your time like it's worth $1 million. Because when you start showing up with energy, structure, and consistency, money pays attention. People trust you more. Opportunities flow easier. You become known as reliable. And that alone is a money magnet. You can't cheat the system. You can't wing it forever. At some point, your routine becomes your reputation. And your reputation either opens doors or slams them shut. So no more casual mornings. No more, I'll get to it later. No more waiting on motivation to strike. Build a routine that gets you rich and stick to it even when you don't feel like it. Because the money doesn't show up when you feel ready. It shows up when your routine proves you already are. Let's make one thing clear: your environment is either feeding your future or choking it. And when it comes to getting rich, Who you surround yourself with matters just as much as what you do. If you're serious about changing your financial life, then you need to start checking your circle, because broke energy is contagious, and so is wealthy energy. If you hang around people who complain all day, blame everything but themselves, and think money is evil or impossible to get, guess what's going to happen to you? You're going to start speaking like them, thinking like them, moving like them. You'll start questioning your own goals. You'll stop dreaming big. You'll lower your standards just to make them feel comfortable. And before you know it, you're stuck in the same cycle, talking about someday with people who don't even believe in Tuesday. But if you start spending time, even just mentally, around people who think bigger, act bolder, and speak with clarity, something shifts in you. You start expanding. You start asking better questions. You start moving differently. That's called money energy. Money energy isn't just about having cash. It's about how people treat time, how they talk about opportunities, how they solve problems instead of crying over them. People with money energy don't sit around making excuses. They make plans. They don't play the victim. They take responsibility. They don't shrink their dreams. They stretch their skills. You need that energy around you. It might not be in your family. It might not be in your current circle of friends, but it's out there in books, in podcasts, in online communities, in events, in mentors, in videos. And until you physically meet those people, you need to borrow their mindset through content and connection. Because here's the truth, you can't rise while surrounded by people committed to staying low. You can't think long term when everyone around you lives for weekends. You can't talk wealth when your circle only speaks debt and struggle. Something's got to give. And if they won't shift, you must. It's not about being better than anyone. It's about wanting better for your life and making the hard decision to protect your peace, protect your energy, and protect your future. That might mean less time with people who drain you. That might mean saying no to people who always want to chill, but never want to build. That might mean walking alone for a season while you level up. But here's the payoff: money flows where vision is alive. And being around people with real vision, people who are building, trying, learning, investing, it activates something in you. It reminds you what's possible. It holds you accountable. It forces you to think bigger. That's what you want in your life. You want people who celebrate your growth, not guilt trip you for it. People who challenge you to stretch, not stay stuck. People who've already done what you're trying to do, or at least are walking in the same direction. Let me ask you something. If your 5 closest people are all talking about getting rich, building something, thinking about investments, starting side hustles, what kind of conversations would you start having? That's what money energy does. It raises your standards without saying a word. You don't need to chase rich friends, but you do need to chase rich habits. And those are easier to build when you're around people who already live by them. Proximity matters. Your environment matters. The conversations you have matter. If you want to grow fast, hang around people who make you uncomfortable in a good way. People who don't let you settle. People who remind you of what's possible. Getting rich is not about being born into money. It's about stepping into a new mindset. And that mindset is shaped by the people you're around. So ask yourself, who are you learning from? Who are you talking to? Who are you letting influence your thoughts every day? And if that answer doesn't reflect where you want to go, it's time to move, because energy is real. And if you stay around broke energy long enough, it'll rob you blind. But if you get around money energy, you'll never think small again. And once you stop thinking small, money can finally make its way to you, loud, clear, and unstoppable.